Just setting up Facebook. Let's see. Webcam. Looks good. Let me know when you guys are in here. Just setting up Facebook to join in. Running a little late. What else is new? Hey, Doreen, I see you there. What's going on, Kristen? What's going on, Wire, Bridget, Tony, Amber? Just getting our Facebook friends to join us. Bear with me. All right. Well, my Bills lost today, but other than that, I hope everyone's having a good day. Camera's off a little, kilter. Let's see if I can get this to work right. Come on. You know, technology. Not pointing in the right direction. Now. Yeah, that works. All right, so yeah, great shirt. Thank you, GenX. It's an older one. It's one of my oldest from my merch collection, but Generation X, when life hurts, rub a little dirt on it. Shirt's a little faded because I've had it probably the better part of 3 years, and it's had a lot of washings. Bridget's fantasy team not doing so well. I wasn't allowed to play fantasy this year. My wife basically doesn't like who I turn into when I do, and I can't say that she's actually wrong. So I let it go this year. Happy anniversary, Cindy. Browns always lose. Yeah, I got to say, at least being a Bills fan this year, it almost feels like we are, by default, have a really good chance to get to the playoffs. Our division is a mess. Hey, Jeremy, good to see you. Yeah, tough loss for the Bills today. Coaching, if anything else, I think, because we really didn't do a great job with time management. Christine, hello, good to see you. Lawrence, yeah, I made it a little late tonight. Was getting our Trivia Crack event up and running for the week. I didn't put a link anywhere today just yet. You can go to my Facebook page and see it at the top of my Facebook page. I'll make more videos about it today. But for those of y'all that already have the Trivia Crack, there's a code now. You just go to hit play. From play, you hit subscribers. Or challengers, I'm sorry. From play, you hit challengers, and then join. You pop in my code, and you're in. I am committed to just going all out this week on trivia because I'm sick of losing when I'm getting all the answers right. I'm just tentative. I wait too long to press the answer. And it seems like number one is always the answer. And I read all the way through and then go back up again. And then remember in school, we were always told to stay with our number one answer. Always stay with your gut reaction. I always second guess myself. And if I get it wrong, it's because I changed things. So Trivia Crack event is up and running. Those of you that follow me on Facebook, I hope that's all of you. Go and check out my Facebook page and you will see a post at the very top about it. What is in the shadow box behind me? All my stuff. So that is basically just a bookshelf, but it's just stuff that I've collected over time and stuff that you guys deem fit to send me. Hey, Ton, Lindsay, good to see you. Hey, Jody. Hey, Cindy. Again, happy anniversary, I said, Bridget. But yeah, stuff people send me, like the MD 2020 Orange Jubilee was sent to me. Bottle of Everclear made its way to me thanks to the U.S. Postal Service. Rubik's Cube was a gift. This is my latest edition. Picked it up at Spirit Halloween last week. One of my favorite movies. More of a Christmas movie for me than a Halloween movie, but it works. Works both ways. Gizmo, my buddy. Those of you that are from Buffalo or the upstate New York area and know it, Mighty Taco sent me a gift card. So there's a lot of stuff. And Atari's back there. Rock'em Sock'em Robot. I need to unfriend whoever sent me Mad Dog 2020. Hey, Brenda Edwards. Hey, Norma. I'm trying to think of a fun way to drink it, actually. Hey, Donald Smith Jr. Just haven't really thought of what I want to do with it. But rest assured, at some point, we will be cracking open the MD 2020. Turtle Gang, I love you too. Celeste, how are you? Tina, good to see you. Blissful, hello. Kristen, I said hi. Good. Oof, them Bills today. Yeah, but like I said, the Jets took it on the chin today too. New England lost, so our entire division is a shit show. Goonies is my favorite movie. Yep, got my poster there. I've got lots of examples of Gen X toys. Like I said, Rock'em Sock'em Robot, video games, foosball, Atari, and because we're Gen X, and I also have this example of a Gen X toy because for whatever reason, it seems most of us, by the age of like 8 or 9, had found our way to Chinese throwing stars and butterfly knives and yes, nunchucks for toys. Because that's just the way it was. Hello from Utah, or hello to Utah. Hey, Rhoda, good to see you. Where's Wirehead? I thought I saw him in here, but now that on second reflection, I see Val, I see Owen, I see Joseph. Hey, Michelle McDaniel, good to see you, honey. Hey, Andrew, Manchild. Oh, always. Let's go Buffalo. Bruce Lee was the man, for sure. Shit show is an understatement. Yeah, Nicole, that's our division right now. And case can be made for teams like Dallas. I think a lot of the NFL is falling into that parody at the moment. Somebody go get Wirehead. He's lost. Hey, Shannon. Hey, Jaden from New Zealand. Good to see you. Hey, Deb. Good to see you. Hey, somebody's coming in from Canada. Jennifer's there. James is there. Comments are flying fast and furious. North Carolina. Sunny, I'm just south of you in South Carolina. Jim Burtz, how are you, my friend? Just like Romper Room, I do see you. I see Jim, and I see Val. I see Wirehead. God, I remember that. Having a name like Johnny, it was always pretty cool because I always got shout-outs with Romper Room. But like, if you always had that one friend whose name was different, they never got it. Finn's had a good game today, Tyler. Not taking that away from you, buddy. Happy spooky season to you, Carl. Hey, John from Ocala. Good to see all of y'all, man. Yeah, Wirehead, I was going to send somebody out to find you. Hey, Dana from Maryland. Hey, Ray from Indiana. Facebook paused. It seems to be going again. Hey, Shannon. Am I rich? No, Thor, not rich. Actually, do this for a large part of what I do, but I also bartend 4 nights a week. I spent most of my adult life in banking. I was a banker and a branch manager and an area manager and a regional manager, a mortgage banker and a business banker. Scott says froze, feed crashed. Not sure what I can do about it. We got up to 200 people really fast. I don't know. Facebook continues to give us trouble, guys. I apologize. Not much I can do about it. I have a good signal. I have a good feed. What's up, Andrew? Hopefully it is coming back. I'm working on getting it. I wonder if I should end and start over. Guys in Facebook and anyone, yeah, they're saying it's troubled live feed. I'm going to restart Facebook. I'm going to give that one more shot. I don't want to waste too much time on Facebook because it is just always problematic. There was a time when I stopped, but I felt bad for people that couldn't find me anywhere else. I didn't want to leave them out, but it is just not a good setup. I know this isn't exactly riveting television. Give me a sec. All right, trying it one more time. Feel bad for the Bills today. Again, given our division, better than most things on television. I'll give you that, Kevin. Pray for the Gulf Coast, second hurricane in 2 weeks. You absolutely have my prayers without a doubt. My mom actually lives in Venice, Florida. So she's just south of Tampa, just south of Sarasota. So believe me when I tell you that my thoughts are with all of you guys down there. Facebook, here we go. Streaming, take two. Hey, T Valentine, good to see you. Am I the only one that is Gen X that cooks from scratch? I don't think so. I know a lot of my followers that talk about cooking quite a bit. I think cooking is something a lot of us really do because we were doing it when we were like 6 years old. We came home and fed ourselves. They might have started with bologna sandwiches or who remembers butter, sugar, and cinnamon sandwiches? You know, we started really basic. Some people did the fluffernutter. Nice to see you back, Chris. We'll see how it works now. Um, Again, I am slowly trying to transition people for the sake of the lives, at least, from Facebook over to YouTube. YouTube just does a better job with it, but I'm never going to completely cut you guys out if I can get Facebook to behave. Pickle sandwiches. I mean, we made our own food. Cereal. We ate a God knows we ate an awful lot of cereal. But I think that as a result of that, as a result of cooking early and young, that a lot of us cook to this day. What have I been up to? Just making content. Today I did bartend. I had picked up Sundays so that I could watch my Bills play here locally. So I bartend from 11 till 4. Actually, ran into a follower at work today. Dude, that never gets old. Can I tell you, if there's A-list celebrities and B-list celebrities, I'm like into the end of the Greek alphabet on my way, 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 way down. I have no disillusions about that. I know I'm not anybody special, but hey, Rhoda, good to have you back. I got to tell you, when people recognize me, when they are kind enough to walk up, which I know has got to be awkward, and say hello, that is the coolest thing in the world for me. That instantly makes my day. If you can see, I've been a little under the weather. I can still see the shopping bags under my eyes right now. Didn't feel great today, but just Melissa coming up and saying, hey, and telling me how much she really enjoyed my content and the page and the community. Very, very, very cool. So if you guys ever see me, don't ever think twice about coming up and saying, hey. It's totally, totally, totally cool. Unless it's a funeral or something inappropriate, you know, something like that. But I bartend at Hickory Tavern in Indian Land, South Carolina. Special, and it's in a good way, not the not the old way we used to make fun of. I appreciate that, Melissa. I appreciate that so much, Michelle. Hey, Tracy from Ohio. Have I heard from Dad Bod? I absolutely have. Dad Bod's doing fine. A couple of my friends were impacted, co-creators, co-Gen X community. Jeffrey Thomas really was, he had a tree go through his house. I don't know if you, those of you who follow Jeffrey, had his house basically split almost in half by a tree. That, but for their Jeep that took some of the force away from the tree as it sacrificed itself, who knows what might have happened. But thankfully, he's okay. We actually did a very, very quick GoFundMe for Jeff. He probably needed a certain amount. We set the goal at like 5,000. We hit it the first day. GoFundMe is still somewhere on my page. It's exceeded the goal. And now we're just donating whatever else that you guys have given. He is in Augusta, Georgia. Whatever goes above that amount that he desperately needed to get him past his deductible. And just because things are moving slowly, people are suffering because there's just, it's not that they don't have insurance. It's that maybe it's just not getting there quickly enough. So we're going to donate the balance, which I think is up to an additional $3,000 or $4,000 right now to general relief. So I think that's pretty cool. Paulette, thank you for gifting memberships. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Beyond kind over there on YouTube. Can we send cash? Bill, there's a million different ways to help with the effort. For Jeff specifically, I know his page accepts Venmo, but I think if you want to contribute to the effort, we chose GoFundMe because some people say there are fees involved, but at least in this specific instance, there were none. All the money's going directly towards helping. Michelle, thank you so much. And I just felt like I don't like coming on my platform and asking anyone for anything. But this was different. It was somebody that I knew was impacted, and you guys stepped up huge. Unreal, the natural disasters hitting all these days. I live in friggin' Canada, and my entire basement from flooding this summer, so I can only dread that kind of damage. I know, Wirehead, but it's easy to get in our heads and think what is going on now. But as a kid, I remember Hurricane Andrew. I remember Hurricane Hugo. I remember being really little and remember like the blizzard of 77 that completely crippled like the Buffalo Niagara region. Can you give the info to help these guys? I will repin it on the top of my Facebook page. And I'll see what I can do about getting it over to the community side of YouTube as well. There's different things that do well on one and better on the other. Praying for you and your family as well, Paulette. Don't think that I didn't see that. It's just a lot of people suffering right now. And we're going to do what we can. My family's doing fine with the aftermath, Andrew. Thank you. We were fortunate here in my section of the Carolinas that aside from losing power from a little bit, we were fine. My mother is in, like I said, south of Tampa. We're keeping an eye on her. But it's part and parcel with living where we live. Now, the sad part is when you get 300, 400 miles inland, and what happened in Appalachia and what happened in Western North Carolina with the dam breaks, and that wasn't expected. It wasn't anticipated. It reminded me of Katrina and the levees. It wasn't necessarily the hurricane itself. It was the aftermath of what the hurricane impacted. So these people, you probably have seen it. I did one reaction video, and then I realized it was sending me in a bad place. I reacted to this woman who was complaining about not getting her refund for her Carolina vacation in a timely manner. Because although she understood the gravity of the situation, she still didn't understand why she couldn't get a refund for her vacation. Now, I said in the video, dude, I get it. You very well may be entitled to a refund. I don't know the contract that you signed, but if you are, give it a minute. Maybe the timing isn't exactly right for you to be bitching about it, and for sure, don't make a video about it and put it online. Common sense is like gone. So after I put up that video, just venting a little bit, I got another one sent to me, and I almost reacted to that, but I'm like, enough. It's going to put me in a bad place. So I continue to pray and think about these people, and then we move on. What's going on, Kevin? Good to see you. Yes, Deb, this is the live broadcast. Appreciate that, Ashley. Thank you. Thank you, Sherilyn. I appreciate it. Hi, Lisa. Good to see you. With Helene still in the process of cleanup, now we have Milton knocking on the front door. It's that season. Yeah, Chris, common sense is most definitely not common. I'm a fellow Gen X from West Virginia. We got a lot of rain and some flash flooding. Chris Scott, thank you so much. I appreciate you so much. And I will say, those of you guys that support the page, although I did most of it anonymously, I did donate openly for my buddy Jeffrey just to get things started. But I continue to try to donate where I can and how I can. And if ever you guys see, if it's something of this magnitude, we are the generation, like the boomers, I get it. They had their thing, even the ones before them. We're the generation that grew up as kids, though. In the shadows of things like the Jerry Lewis telethon. And I think it impacted us really strongly being little kids that grew up watching Jerry Lewis up there asking for money for a cause greater than ourselves. We were kids and saw Band-Aid, listened to Band-Aid. We were kids and saw the movement that became We Are the World, USA for Africa. We were kids that joined in Hands Across America. And I get that the adults of the world at the time, I've had boomers say, hold on a second, we did that. And I get that. I'm not taking it away from you. Everyone that was part of USA for Africa, those were boomers or beyond. I get it. Live Aid. I'm not taking it away from y'all. What I'm saying is it impacted us as children in a huge way. Thank you for gifting memberships. Appreciate that so much. It's a nice thing to do for each other. Hey, Roger from Rochester. So, we got to experience that, as Kevin says, firsthand on television as a first generation to see those sort of things. And it impacted us as children. How many of you guys adopted kids from Africa as kids? I mean, I remember doing that, like going up to my parents and saying, can we do this? And for, $9.99 a month or whatever it was, we adopted a child in Africa, and we'd get those little letters that would tell us about how the kid's doing. I'd still like to know how he's doing, but he lost touch. That's what I think helped form some of our gratitude, being able to get together. Cindy, collecting quarters for UNICEF. Absolutely, Deborah. I remember Hands Across America. These are this is the stuff that helped form the people that we became as adults. And our parents didn't have that. And ironically, I don't think our kids have it either. In a world that is more connected now more than ever, social media, the internet, cell phones, smartphones, connectivity that allows us to connect instantly. We're still leading the charge by connecting through community. I don't think other generations are doing it. I think what we do here every week, I don't see it happening. It's not the same thing. Jump rope I remember doing the jump rope. Farm Aid and Hands Across America were huge for us as kids. It literally formed our perceptions of how we can come together to do things. Jerry Lewis Outline was big for me. First of all, remember, back then TV turned off. So it was a rare treat to be able to stay up late over Memorial Day weekend. And at midnight, the TV didn't turn off. The national anthem didn't come on. The barcode didn't come on. We got to keep watching. And what I loved about the Jerry Lewis Telethon was talk about a combination of local and national. Because if you guys remember, they would have the national tally. And then they would cut away to your local PBS, WPIX, WHT, whatever it was, your local channel, and you would see how Rochester or Buffalo or Tampa or New York City or wherever you were, how you guys were doing in your community in order to help the greater good. That was what was awesome about it. Jim Hawkins, thank you for becoming a follower. Jan Marie Kowalski over on Facebook, thank you for following. Diana Smith, thank you for following. Gary Pettyjohn, Millie Watson-Jones, Yared Kamara. If I butcher names, I apologize. Ria Kofer, Misi. Jason, thank you for sharing the stream. Guys, thank you so much. I appreciate you guys so much. Trying to keep up with the thank yous and keep the discussion going. But this conversation went in a place I didn't think it would. I didn't anticipate, but I really like it because I think it's important. Kids don't know the TV snow or monotone at the end of the night. We collected for Jerry's kids and took the money back to the local TV station. The CP telethon, same thing. I remember our diner. We always had those UNICEF or Jerry's Kids holders right by the register. And people could take their quarters and slot them in there. And then we would go ahead and turn that in. That was always exciting for me as a little kid, collecting those and going around the restaurant to our regulars and asking them. Harry Potter, welcome to the honorary Xers. PBS telethons too? Yeah, in a smaller sense because, PBS was important to us as kids. PBS was as much a babysitter as we were ever going to get. PBS was that person that helped us with our homework, that taught us phonics, that taught us how to read and write and numbers and all of that. And it wasn't free. It was free to us, but somebody had to support it. And that's what was cool about those telethons. Exactly. Sesame Street. Oh, I remember the firefighters. I think they still fill the booth. That was always a big deal in my small town. Hey, Emily Kincaid Nichols from Blowing Rock. Good to see you. The Electric Company, Sesame Street, Nova, In Search Of. In Search Of scared the shit out of me. Let's just be honest. Leonard Nimoy, little creepy. Shh, oot, shoot. Perfect, hot chick. I see it. That's what raised us in a big way. And then, of course, Schoolhouse Rock and all that. What are kids to do? So one of the things I'm trying to do, my 20-year-old and I have been thinking about what can we do in a way that bridges generations to do something different. Maybe do something that connects generations and shows the differences. And she's finally open to the idea. She asked me if I'd be willing to do a podcast with her. Now, my daughter's 20. She's going to school. She's a nursing student. She's amazing. She's intelligent. She's obnoxious. She's sweet. She's compassionate. She's intolerant. She's all those things that we all are. And the idea of having this bridging the generation gap discussion, I think might be kind of interesting. And I just think that would be fun. I do videos where I'll bring kids in. How many of you guys have seen the video of the kids with our bands trying to decipher what, like I just gave them the names. DePeachy Mode, Sade became Sade. In Excess hurt me like no other. They read In Excess as inks. And not a single one out of them that I asked recognized what the former artist formerly known as Prince symbol was. Killed me. Thank you, Jennifer. Wish I could do more. No, you're doing fine. Thank you so much. Just being here is enough. A great video. It's done over 750K on Facebook and pushing 750,000 on Instagram too. But some people in the comments are getting mean. It's one thing to joke and say their parents failed them. But some are outright, these kids are stupid. What's wrong with them? And that just bothers me a little. These kids are being cool enough to let me quiz them. They're being amazingly good sports. They could turn it around on my ass and quiz me about whatever Megan Thee Stallion is doing right now, and I'm sure I wouldn't have a clue. So, that I don't like. I love that these kids, Deborah goes, I choked on my water. I love that they're willing to play with us. And I want to do more of that. I want to play with them. I want to engage with 20-something-year-olds and have them engage with us and connect, because I don't like what happened between the millennials and the boomers. That there was this thing where I want to connect with them, because I think that we're always going to be young at heart. Us Gen Xers are always going to be the big kids in the room, and I want to connect and do more with them. Megan Thee Stallion, who's that, says Bill DeMarco. I don't know, but I thought I was flexing a little just saying the name. Stephanie says, you and me both, sir. I saw my paper that said what number I was for Hands Across America. Very cool. Rhoda, that's the other thing. Rhoda Elliott says on Facebook that she doesn't know a lot of the new music. I stopped listening to new music. Sounds like someone you just made up. And I need to start again. And I did post on a video, and people gave me some great suggestions, and I started listening and creating new playlists, because there's still good music out there. I'm sure of it. I just need to start again. I don't want to basically just go back and listen to only 70s, 80s, and 90s era music. I want to go back and find some good music now. Although I do, like Doreen says, primarily listen to that era. Missed being a boomer by 2 months. Goonies never die. Rewrites of our music, for sure, Debbie. A little bit. They still make music, says Kelly. I missed that. It's hard to find actual bands anymore. I'm a bit odd, says Jennifer. Born in 1986, raised by a boomer, strict Christian mother. A lot of it's not necessarily when you were born that determines how you relate. It's how you were raised that determines how you will relate. And people will message me constantly saying, hey, I was born in 84, but, or I was born in 62, but, and basically asking for my permission to be Gen X. Listen, dude, the biggest thing about being Gen X is we don't care. If you relate to our stuff, have at it. Jump in. Come in. The water's warm. Who watched reruns of Hogan's Heroes? Oh, dude, it was awesome. I have to listen to music now to connect with my kindergartners. That's awesome, Denise. New good music is an oxymoron. Eli, it's got to exist. Thank you for your content. Definitely a Gen X kid forever. You're welcome, Lance. Thank you for your support. Julie says, when you guys started coming out, it was exciting because I didn't know it wasn't just my house ran. Bill DeMarco says I used to breakdance. Bill also said that video killed the radio star, which I was going to make a video on that because that's really not what happened. Video was supposed to kill the radio star, but I had the radio on the other day and it was playing music, and MTV is no longer playing video. So in that particular battle between radio star and video star, I got to tell you, I think video lost. Kristen says, be nice to us. We were born in the 1900s. Video did help the radio star, JTR. Agreed. Internet killed the video star. That's it exactly, Wirehead. Had a hard time getting you live tonight? I'm sorry, Bob. Facebook is doing weird things, so my apologies. I had to reboot it. You guys can let me know. It looks like it's working now. I will continue to say that Facebook is great for a lot of things. When it comes to me getting information out to you guys about like the trivia crack contest that we run every week or different events going on, Facebook is easier to do that stuff. When it comes to streaming, it's YouTube's got it all over Facebook when it comes to that. Sheila goes, I moved to YouTube. Yeah, and it's each one is better at what it's better at. But I would say just if you're on Facebook and you don't follow me on YouTube, I'd love a follow over there. It's also where we now stream our 3 View Mirror podcast every week, which is a podcast that is me and 2 of my Gen X friends. We get together and talk about 3 different topics every week on Friday. And could be anything from the 70s, 80s, and 90s. This past week, our 3 topics, if I can remember, somebody feel free to help me out if you were there. Our 3 topics were, I'll get this. No, I'm not going to get this. I thought I was going to get this. Bad News Bears was number 1. The third topic was McDonald's gift certificates. And the second topic, God darn it, I don't remember. But anyway, Gremlins, God bless you, Michelle McDaniel. So the 3 topics this week were the Bad News Bears, Gremlins, and McDonald's gift certificates. And if you watch the podcast, we kind of did something different where every week we actually stream it live. The next 2 weeks, it'll be Friday at 4 p.m. After that, it jumps back to 5:30 on Fridays. But we're filming in front of a live studio audience, just like most shows back in the 80s were. And there is always going to be a secret theme that runs through the 3. And spoiler alert, I'll tell you that the secret theme that ran through this week's topics was Corey Feldman. Because Corey Feldman was in the TV show version of Bad News Bears. He was, of course, part of the cast of the Gremlins, and his debut on television was the little boy that came down the stairs on Christmas morning and sees Santa Claus putting the McDonald's gift certificates into the stockings. And that's the idea of the podcast, to come up with 3 different topics and then link things together as we go along. Yeah, I've seen his band stuff, and I'll leave it at that. He just opened for Blink-182 here in Charlotte. Corey Feldman did fight Jason in New Blood, the Friday the 13th, part 6, New Blood or something like that. He actually became the new Jason for sort of a minute there. Yeah, that was a great commercial. If you remember, I describe it in the podcast episode. I'm like, you literally see him coming down the stairs, and he gets that ooh look on his face when he sees Santa. Yes, the final chapter. God bless. You guys rock. Emily Kincaid says, didn't know you were in Charlotte. About 20 minutes south of the city over in South Carolina. But yeah. Remember Name That Tune? That would be fun. I can make a series of those videos. Saw Blink-182. Yeah, they just came to Charlotte. I wanted to see them. Couldn't get into it. Hey, Luna. Stand By Me was the best soundtrack ever. Stand By Me, according to Stephen King, was the best adaptation of any of his works. And if you didn't happen to know it, Stand By Me is actually an adaptation of Stephen King's short story, his novella, The Body. And it is probably one of my top 3 movies, maybe top 5, depending on genre, but absolutely one of my favorites. Saw Everclear last night. Very cool. Definitely remember The Gong Show, Bruce. We'd have to get together, only an hour east of Charlotte. I am toying around. You guys have all seen the amazing event that is the Gen X takeover. Not something I had the ability to join in on for a couple different reasons, but it's absolutely incredible what they're doing. I love every one of those guys. They are funny as fuck. They're talented. They're a great group of people. Amazing Toys R Us kids forever, and they are going nationally on a tour. I was thinking about joining with some friends and just doing a panel seminar, like a tabletop seminar, where we just grab a room and maybe get a few different people and sit and just answer questions and talk. Less of a stand-up comedy routine and more of kind of this. Maybe just take the live itself and put it on the road, kind of, so to speak. I like the idea of a back and forth discussion with questions and talking and getting you guys to be able to get to know us. Instagram threw something at me where they wanted me to create 3 videos where I talk about myself specifically in order to help you get to know me. And I've done 2 already. And the 3rd one I've got to make between now and next week. And I got to tell you, I love it. And to incorporate that, just to be more connective. I don't know. Makes it seem like something I'd want to do. Doreen, considering that's where my mama is, I'm sure I'll be down there at some point. Hey, from Connecticut, good to see you. They will be in Cleveland, Ohio, November 9th. And if they ever come out this way, maybe I'll try to jump and grab a ticket and sit in the audience as well. But yeah, I would like to do a panel. Think of it as GenX Con. You know, if you've ever been geeky like me and gone to a comic book convention or Star Trek convention or sci-fi convention, they always have those panel seminars that you can sit in and talk to people. And I like the idea of talking. Hey, Paulette, no worries. Gen X rules. Sending nothing but love your way. Mopeds, there's some material in there, I'm sure. Ken, I love Comic Cons. I wish we had a better one in the Charlotte area. Hey from SC. Gen X Con would be awesome. Agreed. And that's the idea. I would just love to be able to do that. Sherry is an amazing person. Grandma got her wings. Absolutely incredible. I just talked with her on the phone a couple days ago. What does my shirt say? It says Gen X. When life hurts, rub some dirt on it. Have you ever been to Chimney Rock, North Carolina? No, I haven't. But the movie Last of the Mohicans was filmed there. Gen X Con, wait till we retire. Wait till we do what now? You used a word I'm not familiar with. Gen X Con, where we do big wheels and green machine races. Yeah, I'm not sure the insurance would allow that, Kevin, but if they're up for it, we might as well go ahead and shoot for some dodgeball, too. Yeah, I'm with you, Sheila. Agreed, Stacy. Retire? Not so much. I was talking with the producer on an unrelated issue today, and he and I were talking about retirement and about Gen X and what we're looking like in our 50s compared to what other generations looked like in their 50s. And statistics bear me out, and different news articles that I've had go out bear me out on this. We're not slowing down yet. Luna, glad to see you got online. Glad to see you got power back. Can we do a Gen X Con? Debbie, we can do whatever we want. We just got to figure it out. We're not slowing down. We are, Kevin says I look 65. Well, all right, I'll take that. It's been a long day. What can I tell you? Or 70 even. Appreciate you, Kevin. You know what? Your mama thinks I look a hell of a lot younger than that, but I digress. We're just not slowing down in the same way. We're doing different things. I transitioned completely. Cruise ship? I don't know. Hot Chick says, I'm frozen, says Cindy. Kristen chimes in with your mama, so I wasn't frozen when I said that. Kevin's mom. How old am I? I'm 54. I don't look 65, maybe Kevin does. Listen, on some days, I'm sure I look 90. I'm good with it. But I'll tell you what, I'm living a life at 54 that I never thought I'd be able to. I'm having a hell of a time. A month and a half ago, I was in Buffalo playing foosball, downing shots of Crown Royal, drinking Labatt Blue till 4 in the morning, and I put those kids to shame, so I'm good. I'm working on the shifts that I work circles around some kids 20 years younger than me. It's all good. Too many to get on a cruise ship. I've never done a cruise, so no offense to cruises, but I've always been the kind of person that I just don't like being stuck somewhere. Thank you. Elaine Dimmitt, thank you so much. Bill DeMarco, the Chuck Wagon. Shannon saying she's 52. Our 50, listen, I'll put it this way. Kevin, if you're still on, do me a favor. Google Three's Company. Okay? Google Mr. Roper. Google Mr. Furley. Google a movie called Cocoon, and specifically a guy that used to talk about diabetes. Dude, that's what late 40s and early 50s looked like 40 years ago. And say what you want, it's not what it looks like today. Come and knock on my door. Sarah goes, no cruise for me either. 57, Lisa. That's awesome. Paula, 57. And what are we doing in our 50s? Josh coming in, young kid. Yeah, Wilfred Brimley. Exactly, Cindy. Josh, the young kid on the block at 34. Glad to have you here. Listen, what we're doing in our 40s, in our 50s, in our 30s, and our 60s is getting together on social media, and not just on Facebook, by the way, but on YouTube and on TikTok and on Snapchat. We're utilizing technology that kids would think was way beyond us, and we're using it to connect with one another. Some of us are using it as a form of income and entertainment and connectivity and to help change the world in a very small way and to talk about things that connect us rather than things that divide us. Some of us are using technology that kids today think we wouldn't have a clue about and are using it to engage in positive discussions and reaching out and to say, you know what, I know this is an election year and I know that there's a million different things out there trying to get us to fight with one another, but fuck it, we don't care. We're going to talk about days that we think back upon fondly, find out what connects us, and what about the way we were all raised makes us more alike than different. I think that's pretty damn cool. Thank you so much, Teresa. I appreciate you. Corey, also 60th in November. Happy birthday early. Dawn, 52 in Massachusetts. We might be the last age group that remains connected. Well, you know, again, statistics I can tell you show that we are the most connected in terms of a group of people that connect through this idea of a commonality. It kind of ends after us. Millennials, to a small degree, still do it. Gen Z is more divided than connected based on a million different things that were taught to them that told them they should hate one another for disagreeing with one another. And then Alpha is yet to be determined. So true, says Jody. Love Gen X and how memories of my youth. Share lots of videos with my daughter today. Today was a roller skating video. Oh, I love the fact that you do that. A lot of people will tell me they share my videos with their kids and their grandkids as a way of kind of explaining to them, hey, you want to know why dad is the way dad is, or why mom does this, or why grandma, or why grandpa, why we still act crazy? Here's why. Here, look at this guy from, this guy in the Bills hat will tell you why we are the way we are. Sock 'em, bop 'em war. Some people will see that and they'll get upset because it says soccer boppers and they think it's a Mandela effect. They're like, I remember it being sock 'em, bop 'em. And it was. The original ones were sock 'em, bop 'em. Bye, Michelle. Love you, hon. Thank you for being here. But they got sued by Rock'em Sock'em Robots. So the robots sued and then they won the lawsuit because they said that Sock 'em, bop 'em was too close to Rock'em Sock'em and they had to change it to soccer boppers. My kids follow you? My son found your channel before me. Pixie Dust, that is amazing. Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool, Josh. The more you know. David says, look at the pictures of the Cheers group. Yeah, Cheers, the guys on Cheers, they were like 30 something. They're 20 years younger than a lot of us. You want one of those mad dogs? Eventually we'll come up with something we're going to do with those. Cindy says, sharing toys and things from my childhood with my grandkids is fun. Hello, John, mods, fellow chatters. I'm so late. No worries. Better late than never. We still got about 15 minutes. You want my shirt? Just Google search GenX Jono, GenXJono, Redbubble, Redbubble. Do I believe the late 70s Saturday morning kids? Oh, do I remember? I love those preview shows. Are you kidding me? Absolutely, Robert. Do you guys remember? It was right before school went back. Like summer was ending and the new cartoon season was starting. And they would have the late night television right around 8 p.m. would be the preview of all the cool cartoons coming. That was amazing. My granddaughter says that I'm so old that I make Yoda look young. Well, Bruce, you got to give it to your granddaughter for having a good sense of humor. Favorite Schoolhouse Rock segment? Believe it or not, I always Conjunction junction, what's your function? Classic. I'm just a Bill. Awesome. But the unpacking adjectives, I like the music, so we unpacked our adjectives. That was one of my favorites. I think I had a crush on the little girl with the backpack. Call me weird. I don't know. It's just, Paula goes, that was so exciting. I love the Saturday morning preview. And that's what's missing today. Think about it for a second. How excited we got for the privilege of waiting 2 weeks for something to happen. And then once it did, it was something that we had to be in place on the floor, crisscross applesauce, Indian style, whatever, bowl of cereal in hand or cookies and milk. And we had to be there at 8 a.m. on Saturday morning to catch the Super Friends. We had to be there at 10 a.m. Saturday morning to catch the Smurfs. Miss it, you miss it. Kids today don't have that level of excitement. They will, and they have other things. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that we win all the time and everything Gen X was better than anything today, even though it was. But good night, Kristen Wolf. We had an immediacy, an urgency to the things we liked. We couldn't stream whatever we wanted whenever we wanted it. If we saw the CBS special logo spinning, we knew something good was coming, and we yelled to our brothers and sisters and whomever, get over here, something good is coming. It was just exciting. Sometimes when we have access to everything we want, if I want to watch The Wizard of Oz, within 5 minutes downstairs, I could be watching The Wizard of Oz. I can. But when we were growing up, do you remember the gut-wrenching pain of coming in after having a really good time outside and having a parent nonchalantly say, oh, by the way, The Wizard of Oz was on, you just missed it. Or Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. Or Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Or Rikki Tikki Tavi. Or any of those. Because sometimes we missed them. And I just remember like the heart-wrenching like pain of missing it. As amazing as the excitement was when it was coming on, if we missed it, that fucking sucked. Which is why, to Sheila's point, the TV guide was so important. Secret of Nim. I like breaking news was really only when something was happening. Thank God. Yeah, no replays in so much, Val, that it would be on again next year. But it was a year. Still not over the Empire Strikes Back and freezing Han in the carbon. Understandable. Rikki Tikki Tavi keeps me awake at night to this day. What did you just call Charlie and the Chocolate Factory? Sorry. Willy Wonka. You got me. Didn't feel like Chitty Chitty Bang Bang was on every Sunday morning. No, because that was another one. That child napper just got into my head. It was just cool. Specials were special. Special moments were more special because it was by appointment. Even regular television, NBC created an entire franchise around Thursday nights by calling it must-see TV. Because if you missed it, then you were the one at work the next day that didn't know that Seinfeld had an episode around abstaining from masturbation. I mean, it was special. Hey, Catherine from the Florida Panhandle. Bruce says, I always remember the movie called Hiss, where scientists were turning people into snakes. I kind of remember that. Wild Kingdom, 2 people at the exact same time said it. Who won the dodgeball game? Which dodgeball game? Between us, the dodgeball game that we put out there, it would be me, of course. We learned the value of waiting. I always tell youngsters you should look up movie cartoons. Well, the other thing I was saying is, I mean, even the little things like going to the movies. Do you guys remember, who's old enough to remember the cartoons that would sometimes play before the movies when I was really little? I mean, I was really bringing up a memory. I was just sitting there trying to think of something, and it came to me. I'd kind of forgotten that there was such a thing as the cartoon before the movie. And ironically, sometimes there were cartoons in front of movies we as kids had no business being in. So who exactly was the cartoon for? I'm pretty sure that they played a cartoon before Jaws. And again, I ask, who was the cartoon supposed to be there for? Because nobody young enough to enjoy the cartoon should have been in the theater, although we know we all were. Movie trailers played after the movie, exactly, Kevin, which is why we call them trailers. My favorite Croft, couple that you may not remember. One of my favorite Croft shows was Bigfoot and Wild Boy. I loved that as a little kid. I thought that was awesome. I had a crush on Dyna Girl from Electro Woman and Dyna Girl. That was always pretty cool. I absolutely loved more than anything, though, as far as live action Saturday mornings, it was Shazam. It was the Shazam Isis Hour was my favorite. And cartoon-wise, I was a superhero guy, so continuing with that theme, it would have been the Super Friends. Love watching Richie Rich, but the life of me, I can't remember his personal robot's name. His personal robot's name was Irona. Although as a child, I remember reading it as Irona. I-R-O-N-A. Irona was Richie Rich's personal maid. Do I remember BJ and the Bear? I do. Sigmund and the Sea Monster, definitely. Daisy Duke from Dukes of Hazzard goes without saying. I still remember episodes of the Flintstones, says John, with Fred and Barney smoking cigarettes. Before me, but I've seen them. Captain Caveman, Puff the Magic Dragon, Jabberjaw, Lidsville, Banana Splits. Do I make up the trivia questions in the Trivia Crack Challenge? No, Sheila, I don't know what they are until I'm playing, just like y'all don't know what they are until we're playing. What I do is choose. Like, again, this week, I said to Trivia Crack, give me questions from the 70s, 80s, and 90s. So every question in this week's Trivia Crack Challenge, because it's a Gen X challenge, is going to be from the 70s, the 80s, and the 90s specifically. But I play along with you guys, so I don't know what the questions are. To that point, a lot of you also challenge me to games, and I try to play along when I can, but I am vastly outnumbered at any one time. I probably got 100 challenges sitting in there, so I try. Witchy Poo is scary as hell, Valerie. Agreed. But I will go off. So we've got about 5 minutes left. Couple just cleanup items. Number one, to everybody over on YouTube, you guys have donated today. I appreciate it so much. Had a bunch of people who joined the page, meaning they are now honorary Xers or Gen X men and Gen X women, Gen X Avengers. These are just different levels of contribution that you guys can choose in order to help support what it is I do. Conversely, over on Facebook, you guys do the same thing when you choose to subscribe. A subscription on Facebook is a different animal. It's 99 cents as a recurring charge. And then you guys have access to this pretty cool thing, which is a private Facebook group. And Sheila and Kristen and Doreen will tell you that you guys run that page. I go in there and I watch what you guys post. And it's really cool because sometimes I'll take what you put in there and that's what inspires me to make content. Speaking of which, Bridget Brown, welcome to the Honorary Xers. Thank you for joining up on YouTube. There is a link to the Facebook which says subscribe to get exclusive benefits. That's the exclusive benefit on Facebook. And it's cool. It's fun, and I like it. So that's number uno. Number two, we do run a challenge every week. It's a Gen X era Trivia Crack Challenge. And it's just my fun way of joining with you guys and playing as a community to see who knows more useless shit about Gen X. Who shot JR? Could be a question in there. I don't know. Wirehead, bless you, man. Thank you. I would definitely buy $6 Million Man. If I could go back in time and look through the back of his head and use his bionic eye again, that would be a good day for me. I love that toy. And then the other thing is some of y'all have talked about ads on Trivia Crack. I checked with the people that run the Trivia Crack Challenge for me. The only way you get an ad really during the game is if you miss a question and you want a second chance at it, you can choose to watch a video. If you want to watch a video in order to get two shots at a question, that sort of thing is the only time anybody should be getting ads. And if it makes you feel any better, full disclosure, they do split ad revenue with my page. So it's just a fun way that the thousands of you can join in and play. And at the same time, it does support me in what I do. So thank you. Luna, I will go out on a limb and say The Bionic Woman is probably a better show than The $6 Million Man in terms of writing. They had really good writers over there. Night, Doreen. Thank you for being here. Don't forget to jump on the Trivia Crack Challenge. I'll see you there. How do you get to Trivia Crack? For YouTubers, there will be a description in the community post, but the best way to do it is jump over to Facebook for just a minute if you can. I'll also put an Instagram post out on it. But the more of you guys that do it, the better it is for me, and it's also a lot of fun, so give it a shot. That's kind of all I got today. Have a great week, everybody. If you're in the path of that next hurricane coming through, please be safe. Please pay attention to the warnings. Don't take chances. Definitely Schwinn, John. Automan was awesome. Bills got their asses kicked with, I wouldn't call it a 3-point loss. Asses kicked, but a loss is a loss. Katie Jane, my good friend. Greatest American hero. Love it. Guys, have an awesome week. Be safe. Be good to each other. Continue to share, like, bring more and more people to the page. I appreciate it so much. We are literally growing again. And if you don't follow me on all platforms, remember, you can find me on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and even TikTok if you're on there. I love you guys to pieces. I cannot thank you enough for everything you guys are doing. Red, I'm not really on Snapchat yet. I just started joining X. We'll see. Maybe. But that's all I got. See you guys over on Trivia Crack. And be good to each other. Keep praying and thinking about those affected. And we will see you all on the other side. Peace.